Happy Friday, Believe Nation. We're live. We're gonna do some Q&A here. Ask us. Let's just ask your questions below. Ask your questions below. Friday's my CEO day. Been working on some pretty exciting projects, but right now we're gonna get to our Q&A show. I'm gonna invite the legend in, Mark Drager. Pop your questions down for us, and we'll get to as many as we can in the next 25, 30 minutes or so. Waiting for Mark Drager. There he is.
Hello.
Mark doesn't really work.
McGregor?
McGregor's kind of better.
Scottish German right there.
McGregor.
What's going on?
All right. Ready to answer some questions, Mark?
I totally am. I'm on Wi-Fi, and if my battery dies, if I disappear, just assume the podcast is over.
Right. So this is a bonus episode where we're answering Instagram live questions and making it a bonus episode for our Something Approved podcast. Mark is my co-host. So first question comes in from Behan Code. How to scale a podcast?
How to scale a podcast. So you can do that through like really organic means, meaning, you're interviewing, you're bringing in other people, you're answering listener questions, you're doing weekly challenges with your listeners where you want them to respond to a question and then you read them out, which helps build community and engagement. Friends tell friends tell friends. You ask for reviews. They review on your podcast. You rank better. That can happen. You can bring in a lot more experts or other people and then ask them to share it by packaging up their best clips on your podcast and giving them those clips so they can share it. Or you can look to join a network or go with kind of paid advertising. No matter what, it is a very slow build. It's more like the old days of SEO or building a business than it is just simply putting something out there and suddenly you're going to build a crazy big community, or you're going to spend a lot of money and everyone will start following you.
Where would you put paid advertising?
So you could take your best clips and then turn them into YouTube clips and then run them on YouTube and then find the full conversation here. You can potentially cross-promote against other podcast networks if you pay them. So most podcast networks will do ad breaks in the middle, advertising other podcasts.
Yeah, I think that's a better fit.
There's lots of ways. You could take your best clips, put them on Instagram, and then run a paid campaign on those clips as well. Lots of ways.
Yeah, I think the best. If you're gonna do advertising, do it on other people's podcasts because you're targeting podcast listeners.
Yes.
Or if you're on YouTube or Instagram, you're not. There's a lot of crossover, but a lot of people may not necessarily consume podcasts in those visual mediums. It's definitely fame hacking. If it's even this is more of a challenge that in our show that it's just the two of us that we're not fame hacking other people.
I'm fame hacking you, Evan.
Yeah, Mark is fame hacking me. Mark is
every time we go live, I pick up more Instagram followers.
Yeah, go follow Mark Drager. Yeah, Mark
Drager,
fame hacks me. We're not fame hacking the podcast, but you should. Like most podcasts are with somebody else. You're asking questions. And then you use their audience. You use their name, use their audience. Some people will share it. Some people won't.
But most podcasts do a bad job of packaging.
Dude, we do a bad job.
No. Hold on.
We do a bad job. I just heard you. I know what you're saying. We do a bad. When was the last time you put out a story of our episode and then tagged me in it for me to share?
Yesterday.
And did I share?
I tagged you. I don't know if you did that. Yesterday I posted a clip of us and I tagged you. I do it once a week.
Once a week?
Once a week I tag you in something.
In your story? No.
Yes.
Not in your stories.
Yes. IGTVs.
Okay.
Once a week I do it with you.
No. Not IGTVs.
Oh. Okay, what do you mean?
In your stories.
I've done it, I think, 4 times since we started this.
See, this is the problem.
In my stories, never.
Jesus Christ. How many times, Mark, are you listening? How many times, rewind the tape, did I say stories?
I thought you meant IGTV.
Yes,
IGTV.
Yesterday. IGTV. Did I say IGTV, Mark?
No, fine. Stories? In your IG stories, never.
No. Okay, great. So this is back to my original point before I got very rudely interrupted. We're not doing a good job of fame hacking because Lewis House in the house, welcome aboard, man. We need to be doing that more. Even Lewis, like I did an interview with Lewis, I don't know how long ago, and then we took the 3 best clips of it, and then once a month we'll share one of those moments, and I'll tag Lewis in it, and I think Lewis has shared it a couple of times in his audience. If not, he gives me the high five or something in the DMs. But it's better if you just tag somebody in an IGTV post or a video post or a regular post.
Yeah.
The chances of the person getting notified are slim to none if they're have any kind of following. Like, there's some people on top of all the notifications because they have 18 followers, and like, oh my God, somebody responded to my comment is a big deal. But if your goal is to grow a podcast, the way to fame hack is through the IG stories, because you get a DM notification. So,
and then they can reshare it, so they can take action.
Share it so easy. It's
and
like
they take
just
action.
add the story. It's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
And Lewis is great at that. If you go look at his feed, you'll see him sharing the people in his audience who have shared his book or shared the movie that was on greatness.com, all this stuff, right? He's sharing it. So that's a one-click share for me to my audience that we should be doing. Like, we're not doing a good job of that.
Okay, I'll start.
It's one of the biggest
Perfect.
hacks.
We'll start. Done.
So for people listening, like you're launching your podcast, turn it into an IG story, and then every month, like, pick what day is today? The 20th, 22nd? I have no idea.
24th, Evan. It's
24th. Great. So the 24th of every month should be the same person, and you find the 3 best clips, and then
here's a secret. Here's a
every
secret.
3 months.
Make the 20th of the month Evan's clip, because then it'll land on his birthday in May.
Yeah, there you go. But I might not have been on your podcast. So Mark, you can do that. but I would do it every week. Like, I share so much of the stuff that people put out on me, because it makes me look good, hopefully, and it also helps spread some love to the people. I don't ever see Mark's tags. Like, when I see Mark's posts, it's because I'm going to his feed or because it's showing up in my feed. And sometimes I get surprised. Oh, I was in that one. Okay. Let's share this.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
good question, though. Good question.
Good question. Okay.
Suki's in the house. I just want you to know that on our podcast yesterday, our 1 hour long podcast that's coming out next week, we talked about you a lot. So I hope.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, a lot.
As an example.
A lot. Look out for that on Tuesday.
Okay. Antonio, let's go, is asking. Actually, he changed his name because we did an IG live together, and his name was Antonio, and it said Antonio. So when he came in, I said, Antonio, let's go. And so he changed that to his IG handle.
I love it. I love it so much.
That's really good. Okay. What are your biggest challenges you are facing now, and how are you overcoming them?
The biggest challenge I'm actually facing is people not willing to make a decision or commit to anything. So it's not that, that I'm not willing to take action and I'm not willing to do things. I run a business, I own a marketing agency, and lots of people will talk about how they'll use this time to do something, but then they won't actually do anything. A lot of people will agree to meet with you, but then in the meeting are super soft. And so you can have as much courage and conviction as possible, and you can try and hold everyone's hand when you're in business as possible. But if they are not willing to, if you can't pull them out of their sense of fear, if you can't make it so easy for them that they have to say yes, then you just have to move on to the next person. And so I'm spending a lot of time moving on to the next person, because the people I'm talking to love the idea of it, but aren't willing to say, okay, let's start something small. Let's do something. Let's take action. Let's make a decision. And that drives me crazy.
Okay, it got better. Suki, first off, saying, what? Love your podcast. So stay tuned. Yeah, whatever. So I didn't like the start of Mark's answer
because my start relied on other people, and you don't want me to rely on other people.
Exactly. It's like,
but when you're in business and you are selling to people, or you're halfway through a project and you say, hey, all I need you to do is read my email, and they go, maybe next week I'll read your email. You go, what the heck? And you try to call them up and you read them the email on the telephone and say, I will verbally read this email to you because you will not read it. And then they still won't take your call. You have to move on to the next person.
Yeah, great. Stop blaming them. It's your fault. Perfect. That's always your biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge is I blame other people.
Exactly. The only acceptable answer for anybody to answer that question has to be something personal. It's you. It's not that people aren't responding or willing to move. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Mark saved it by the end. We're happy. Mine is always is just belief in myself over doing the next thing. So now I'm promoting my book, right? Built to Serve. Hey, what's all this? Oh, these people have to shout it.
I love that. Hey, here's my book.
Like,
hey, what's that stuff?
All of a sudden, there's all these sticky notes. These are people who I have to shout out for buying the book. Signed copies.
You don't have to. You get to.
Whatever. Don't start down that train. The thing that's causing me anxiety now is I'm reaching out to a bunch of my homies and asking them to do reads of the book. Lewis agreed to do a read in the book. And yesterday, I reached out and said, hey, I'm trying to get some people. Brendan Burchard suggested this idea to have people do reads of my book. Are you okay doing a couple sentences? I'll pick a couple that are on brand. And I'm sending these texts. I'm texting now. I'm sending these texts out to people. And it's causing me massive anxiety. And then I have to, I'm looking at my notifications, and there's 4 people who wrote back. Like, oh, what did they say? What did they write? So it's that constant challenge to believe more in myself, which is why I do everything that I do.
Hey, I just saw that question come across saying, I'm starting a podcast. What are little things that I can do to get better? The reason, listen, yesterday's podcast episode we recorded was 100% on podcasts, and it's coming out Tuesday. So look for the Something to Prove podcast on Tuesday, 1 hour just on how to do a podcast properly.
Mark just throwing out the commercials. All right.
That's not a commercial. I'm answering his question. He has an hour.
Okay. Raphael Strada is asking, how do you snap out of a negative mindset or low motivation? Any tips or methods that you use to get remotivated? Yes,
music and movement. So it's not how you feel. It's what you want to do. Put on a song for the type of feeling you want to be in, whether that's angry or aggressive or fun or dancing or silly or whatever it is, whether you need something to pump, and then start moving. And that is standing up, that's going for a walk, that's going for a run, that's dancing, that's literally just doing jumping jacks. You do that for a minute, and you're going to feel better. You're going to start to feel better. And then you can start to apply that to, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do something. I'm not going to waste the energy I just built. I'm not going to waste the motivation. Now I feel good. You go and you use that to start something.
Yeah, I like it. I agree. Music is always my go-to whenever I'm feeling low energy. I have a playlist, called #Believe, which is a collection of a couple hundred of my favorite songs. Wild Horses is a co-song that Mark and I both have on our lists. And there's songs that if they came on right now, like, I'd have to get out of my chair, right? There are songs, there's no perfect song, but there's perfect songs for you. So the song, if it came on, it would make you bounce, because that's the whole idea. You're trying to bounce yourself out of the funk that you're in. So music is a perfect way to start. And then I like picking up some kind of project that I can get excited by. So this morning, I got up at 6:40 this morning, and I started working on, I got inspired by a new thumbnail. I saw somebody's thumbnail. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I could do that. And it's totally different. Not totally, but very different than what I would normally do. I'm like, so of course we have to do it, just to see, just to try. And then if it works, now I got to go back to my team and say, hey, it was like
those 7,000 email thumbnails we just did.
Yeah, well, we have to update all of our 6,000 thumbnails for our new design, and we're I don't know, 400 or 500 in right now, and like, all right, guys, let's do it again, start all over. And I felt so good. Like I look at my new thumbnail, and I just set it up in TubeBuddy. I look at my new thumbnail, look at my old thumbnail, look at my new thumbnail. Look, I'm gonna show you guys. Let me show. I'm so excited by this. I love looking at my own work. I think you should love looking at your own work, right? Have you ever made something and you look at it and say, man, I'm amazing.
It's so good.
I'm just amazing. Yeah. Okay, so
that lasts for a few days, and then it gets old.
Yeah, but still, it's fine. But that's what you're missing. Like, how do you get the motivation, right? So I'm copying from, this is more of a gaming strategy. So let me see if I can move the phone so that you guys can see it. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yep.
So it's backwards,
but that's fine. It says never give up. And the top one says,
Yeah. So the top one is our winning one. That's our best Elon Musk one. This is how to never give up.
Yeah.
The bottom one is the one that I just created. So never give up.
Yeah. From crazy. That's the one where he was buying. He got a car delivered or something, right? He got a really expensive car delivered, and then it's to who he is now, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if those pictures will be too small to be seen on mobile. It's something we normally wouldn't do, but it's like whatever. And I love it. I've looked at it like at least 40 times today, just looking at it. Like, oh man, I'm amazing. But that's what you're missing, right? Like you're waking up, you're tired, you don't have energy, you put on a song, and then you create something that you want to look at 40 times, and you want to feel like I'm amazing for what I just made. And it may tank. I just set up the split test. Maybe it's the best thing I've ever done, or maybe the data shows that is stupid, never do it again. But I'm super proud of myself for making it. And I want to keep looking at it. I'm going to look at it like at least 20 more times today, for sure.
I love it.
Okay,
quick update for you, Evan. I got 10% battery left. So we've eaten through 40% battery in 15 minutes.
Well, that's Mark Jigger for you, ladies and
There
gentlemen.
you go.
Okay. All right. Stay more. Hi, Evan and Mark. Okay, don't forget to end Mark. Mark.Jigger on Instagram. What mistakes did you make when creating your business?
Oh, gosh. I made so many mistakes. I started my business in 2006. I was 23 years old. Mostly it was moving too slowly. I would say the biggest mistake I've made, the biggest mistake I continue to make, and the biggest mistake I still make today, is overthinking.
This is my greatest day ever. I love this so much. We need to repeat this. Okay, keep going.
Overthinking, wanting it to be perfect, thinking that I only got one shot at this, like it better be good because people are going to see it. And if they see it, then they're going to judge me and I won't be able to fix it later. And I want it to be good enough to be just wasting years, like honestly, years and years and years. And the greatest lesson that I've learned, even just like last week, I heard someone say this that reminded me of it. It's you have a plan, you think it's pretty good, and you get it out there and you learn and you evolve, and what you're doing in a year won't be what you thought you were doing anyway. So why waste time overthinking it? So the biggest mistake I made was just wasting too much time. Come up with an idea, put it into market, do something, take an action, learn from it, change it, fix it. You will get better as you go.
People in the chat saying, I feel the same way. Damn. All right, well, there you go. Mark's spreading some fire today. Mine was being too much of a perfectionist. I made this perfect business plan that I thought would be great, and then we went to market, and
it lost you $35 million.
$40 million deal. A $40 million deal I lost, most likely, because
you
I
went
just
too
waited.
slow.
I waited too long. I was trying to be too perfect. So don't be perfectionist. ER equals Erasmo in the house, okay? Just for Mark. Mark, I wonder who installed the lamp behind Evan.
Yes. Doesn't it look amazing? So first of all, I did a ton of research to make sure that something would pass.
I rotated my camera.
Yeah, something would pass the Evan Carmichael.
There you go.
Evan Carmichael, what he thinks looks good. I came over in a snowstorm in December to install that lamp. And then here's the great thing. Evan didn't like it. So we took it down, we returned it, and then I installed that one again. Not on camera, right? Like a month later.
It's warm light. Warm light instead of
cold
lighting.
Lighting. Yeah.
But listen, I made sure also that light was off before I started this live broadcast. So I made sure to turn it on.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're welcome, world.
Right? All right. Hey, Orion. Hey, Orion. I'm a fresher. Well, I don't know what that means. I'm a fresher. Maybe
freshman? Freshman? Maybe freshman?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm a fresher. And how to make networks on LinkedIn. I'm a fresher. How do you make connections on LinkedIn?
So, the best thing to do is to grow your connections organically, or, it depends. Do you have a paid program where you're allowed to do a certain number of in-mails, or are you hoping to do this as cheap as possible? If it's as cheap as possible, then use your connections to leverage other connections. And you can look for people with second or third ring connections and then ask for introductions. Or if you're on a premium platform, then what you do is you set the targets based on company or based on seniority. You follow those people. LinkedIn will notify you whenever those people post, read their stuff, comment on their stuff, wait 6 months to kind of, you're going to come on their horizon. They're going to be the type of people who see, oh, it's this person who keeps commenting and reading all my stuff. Cool. And then when you reach out, you have some kind of social credibility built up because they know that you're someone who's been following them. So it depends whether it's super cheap and cheerful, then you kind of grow through other people, or if you have a paid program, watch people, follow people, read their stuff, and then reach out to them with value.
So I think the first step I would do is make sure that I have a killer picture, bio, content kind of filled out on my own channel, my About Me, right? I talk about it in Built to Serve, right? You need to have an awesome picture bio. So if somebody came to your LinkedIn page, they would want to do business with you. They'd want to follow you. Mark's trying to find battery. It's amazing.
No, I don't have any battery.
Then I'd be looking at, are you looking to do a sniper or shotgun technique? Where basically, are you just trying to get people to follow you, or are you just trying to be known in your industry? Then you're creating content, you're joining groups, you're commenting on anybody who's using hashtags. Like if I wanted to be the entrepreneur guy, then I'd be making content on entrepreneurship, which I do. And then I'd be commenting on anybody who's ranking for hashtag entrepreneur, which I'm not doing. But you could if you want to grow faster. If you want to go sniper, then you figure out who are the 50 people who I want to be able to connect with and what's my path to get there. Like maybe it's 3 connections deep. So you got to build the connection with that person to get that person, to get that person, and provide as much value as possible along the chain each way. But in either case, shotgun or sniper, they're going to come to your LinkedIn account and they're going to see what you're all about. And it better be something that I want to interact with and not, some person in an undershirt with nothing to say.
Evan, I got to go, man. I only got 1% battery left.
All right. See you, Mark.
You can keep going if you want. You can give me the audio and then we'll put it on the podcast.
That's this week's episode of the Something to Do podcast. We appreciate you. Continue to believe, and we'll see you soon.
Ciao.
Much love.